So I've been having a lot of fun installing some aftermarket lights that light up. Unfortunately, I don't have them lit up. They didn't quite come with all of the supplies I needed. These aftermarket lights are meant for, I think, up to Challengers of 2018, and doesn't take into account the Challenger Hellcat and the Hellcat Redeye, which this one is 2019, because there's a big, huge ballast. So this is some aftermarket stuff that I bought on my own, actually from the plumbing aisle of Menards. A whole ballast. So there are original OEM tubes that have the Hellcat logo, and it comes stock. Unfortunately, it only turns white, just the bright white. So if you want any kind of flare to it, this is the only option that I know out there right now, is to swap out the old ones or the OEM ones with this. But it doesn't come with this. So you have the inactive port here on the passenger side, and you can't put any of the old stuff or the OEM stuff back on. In other words, you want to keep the engine compartment clean. So you want to, I'm trying to get in here, cap it, right? You want to put a cap on the back of this. I'm actually waiting for my wife to come home, and we're going to put some foam in this hole here to seal that. Otherwise, it would just be open to the compartment, the engine compartment, lots of debris and stuff. But anyway, the aftermarket stuff that I had to buy on the inside is actually because the aftermarket part didn't come with any kind of gasket. It just had a butyl tape that was on the ring itself, that was essentially the small ballast of the light. And so I had to kind of improvise and get my own gasket, and here's what I found. Just went to Ace and got a sink gasket, and it just happened to fit that light perfectly. So that's on there, and then this whole thing fits over this. So this is essentially a kind of a heavy industrial strength rubber. It's flexible, rubber reducer for if you have a junction in some PVC plumbing, you can reduce it from, I think this might be 3.5 to 3 inch OD pipe. I'm pretty sure. And then just bought some hose clamps, and again this cover, it's called a test cap, and I just dremeled out the hole in the back of this. So that's the inactive port right there. I won't show you everything that comes with it, but here is the Bluetooth receiver that hooks into your 12-volt supply, and then it's actually grounded on the stock grounds from the fuse box here. And then also from the light, I don't know if you can see it, I have it kind of buried down. There's a driver upstream of that Bluetooth. So, and that goes the same for both. So here, I'm going to bring you over to, again, this is a Hellcat Redeye 2019. I'm actually going to put this underneath. But all of this is going to be recovered with the radiator covers. So that should, this section here should be nice and covered with the radiator cover. So yeah, on this side you've got the same thing here, got the same setup but fortunately for us power heads and gear heads, we have some extra air coming in through this inlet. So this is actually an active air inlet here. So luckily there's this lip, the lip on the other side, the reduction lip, fits, this kind of just fits really kind of snugly. So this is the stock tube that actually S's down into the main K&N box, the main breather box. And then you have some more, there's a hole down at the bottom there. That's for excess drainage and probably just more air to pull up from the ground. And then that feeds into this big, huge workhorse 2.7 liter supercharger. This is a ridiculously amazing engine. outputs close to 800 horse. You know, just to put this analogously, you've got a 2.7 liter supercharger on top of a 6.2 liter V8 Hemi. Now this 2.7 liter supercharger is volumetrically comparable to the engine of my Audi A7. It's got a 3 liter. It's just ridiculous. It's like 2 engines in one. It's got 797 horsepower and like 700 pound-feet of torque. It's ridiculous. It's a beast. 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds. I'm not going to say this was an easy aftermarket thing, especially with the likes of variations, newer variations, where it's not just simply a bolt-on. I had to go to the hardware store, buy some aftermarket parts. If you have 2018 and earlier, I think it's easier. I think, just because the parts are just more compatible. You don't have to remove any OEM tubes. They don't have OEM tubes as far as I know. They're illuminated air catcher tubes. They don't come stock with models earlier than 2019. So overall, I love it. Fortunately, I can't turn the lights on when I'm playing the video here.